Welcome to the Atomic Growth Team. I'm your host, Uncle Ray, and our mission here is really simple. We want to help you become 1% better every day.
That's right, just 1%.
Exactly. So I want you to picture a scenario for a second. You are standing in your bedroom, and you're staring at a closet that is just stuffed to the absolute brim.
Oh, we've all been there.
Right. I mean, hangers are jammed together, clothes are piled up on the shelves, and yet you still have that sinking familiar thought, which is, I have absolutely nothing to wear.
It's so frustrating.
It really is. Or, maybe you check your bank account on a random Tuesday, you look at the balance, and your stomach just drops. Because you're wondering where all your hard-earned money just magically went.
It's such a universal feeling, Uncle Ray. It really is. It's that quiet panic of feeling like you're running on a treadmill, but somehow you're still falling behind.
Yeah.
So today we're taking a deep dive into the root cause of that feeling. We're unpacking a fascinating source material that outlines 50 minimalist rules, and these rules completely transform the original author's life.
50 rules. That sounds like a lot, but I know we're going to break it down.
We are, and here is the real hook, the thing that is just mind-blowing. By using this framework, the author only increased their actual salary by 30% over a few years.
Wait, 30% is pretty standard, right?
Exactly, it's normal career growth. But their savings multiplied by 10 times.
A 10x increase.
A 10x increase in retained wealth. And, no lottery tickets, no inheritance, no secret trust fund, just habit changes.
Susanna, that 10x number is wild.
Mm-hmm.
Because like you said, a 30% bump in pay is realistic, but a 10x jump in savings. That means there was a massive foundational leak in their system that they finally figured out how to plug.
Oh, absolutely.
So, to you listening to this deep dive right now, consider this an invitation. We are going to unpack the hidden psychology behind why we buy, why we hold on to things, and how you can fundamentally rewire your relationship with your own money starting today.
Yes. And to really understand the solution, we have to start with what the author calls the illusion of the problem.
The illusion of the problem. Okay, walk me through that.
So the author originally described themselves as living paycheck to paycheck, right? They were part of the Moonlight Clan. By the end of every single month, their bank account was basically wiped clean.
Oh, wow. Just scraping by.
Right, and their physical space was exploding with stuff, yet they were constantly stressed by credit card bills. So naturally, their first instinct was, I just have an income problem.
Okay, let's pause and look at that because I feel like I need to play devil's advocate for a second here.
Go for it.
If you don't have money and your bank account is hitting zero, then of course you need a higher salary, right? Earning more equals saving more. It feels like basic math.
It does feel like math until you introduce human psychology.
Ah, right. The human element messes up the math.
Totally. It completely upends that logic through something called lifestyle creep. This is actually Rule 44 from our source.
Lifestyle creep. Okay, I've heard of that. But what does it actually look like?
Well, obviously, if someone isn't making a living wage, that is a structural income problem. But for most people, including the author, they were making enough to survive, but they were bleeding out all their extra cash. The moment your income goes up, your baseline definition of normal shifts.
So it's like an invisible tax we put on ourselves.
Precisely. You get a promotion, right? You finally have a little breathing room. But instead of putting that extra money into savings, your brain goes, well, I work hard. I deserve an upgrade.
Oh, I know that voice.
We all do. So you move to a slightly nicer apartment, or you lease a newer car. You start buying, premium organic groceries instead of the store brand.
Right, the finish line just keeps moving.
Exactly. You end up in the exact same paycheck to paycheck trap. You're just, wearing a more expensive jacket while you panic about your bills.
That makes so much sense. So what we're really saying here is your financial freedom isn't tied to your next promotion. It's tied to how you manage the lifestyle you have right now.
Nailed it. Because if you haven't mastered your habits at your current level, earning more just amplifies the bad habits.
A bigger hose doesn't fix a bucket with holes in it.
Exactly, Uncle Ray. And if we want to talk about the biggest hole in the bucket of modern society, we have to talk about our phones.
Oh man, the digital spending traps.
Yes. We are living in an attention economy. Billions of dollars are spent to bypass your logical brain and trigger an emotional purchase.
Right, the algorithms literally track how long we stare at a picture of shoes. It's a highly sophisticated trap. So how did the author actually break out of it?
They started with Rule 2, the 24-hour cooling off period. It's a beautifully simple rule.
Yeah, how does it work?
When you want to buy something online, you put it in the cart. but you are not allowed to check out. You have to close the app and wait 24 hours.
Wow. Just a hard pause.
Yep. And the author found that 8 times out of 10, by the next morning, the urge to buy the item completely vanished.
That is exactly like going to the grocery store when you're starving.
Oh, that's a perfect analogy.
Right. You want everything, the cookies, the chips, all of it. But after you eat a good meal, none of it looks appealing anymore. Your brain is just reacting to a stimulus.
Exactly. You're starving for the dopamine hit, not the actual product.
Yeah.
And the source takes this defensive strategy even further with Rule 3, deleting shopping app notifications entirely.
Oh, that's a big one. People hate turning off notifications.
They do, but think about what a notification actually is. It's designed to interrupt your thoughts and say, buy this right now.
Yeah, if you think about it in real-world terms, having those notifications turned on is like having a person standing right next to you in your living room, whispering in your ear every hour going, hey, we're having a flash sale, look at this.
You would kick that person out of your house immediately.
Instantly. Why do we let them live in our pockets? Turning that off makes the world so much quieter and honestly your wallet heavier.
It really does. You reclaim your agency.
Okay, but Susanna, keeping money in your wallet is one thing, but what about the stuff that's already taking over your house? Because wait until you hear how your clutter is literally charging you rent.
Yes. Let's get into the physical space. Because this is Rule 21. Space is money.
Space is money. I like the sound of that.
Every single square meter of your home costs money. Whether it's rent or mortgage, you are paying for that physical footprint.
Okay, I'm tracking with you.
So if you're storing unused junk items, like boxes of old textbooks or a broken blender, you are actively paying money every single month to house garbage.
I mean, when you put it like that, it's actually painful. I'm essentially acting as a paid storage facility for my own junk.
Exactly. You're renting out your valuable space to things that don't serve you.
Oh, okay, but Susanna, let me push back here for a second.
Sure, go ahead.
What about sentimental things? I mean, I can't just throw away gifts or old souvenirs. Those are my memories. I don't want to live in a sterile, empty box.
That is such a valid human concern, and it's why Rule 23 is so brilliant. It's photos instead of objects.
Oh, interesting. So you take a picture of the item.
Exactly. You take a nice photo of the souvenir or the kid's art project. The memory stays completely safe digitally without demanding physical space in your home.
Oh, wow. So the memory is decoupled from the physical burden of the object.
Exactly. You don't lose the feeling, you just lose the clutter.
I really love that.
Yeah.
But, you know, if I clear out a closet, my brain is going to want to fill that empty space right back up.
Yeah.
How do we manage the flow of new things coming in?
That brings us to Rule 1, the one in, one out rule. If you buy a new pair of shoes, an old pair has to leave.
Okay, that makes sense. It keeps things level.
But the author also used an advanced version for when they needed to actively reduce their stuff. Rule 22, the one in, two out rule.
Wait, really? One in, two out. That's aggressive.
It is, but it completely changes how you shop. If you buy a new sweater, you have to find 2 old ones to donate or throw away.
Oh, that makes the cost of buying a new sweater so much higher. I'd really have to want it to sacrifice 2 things I already own.
Exactly. It forces you to constantly elevate your surroundings. Only the absolute best things survive.
That is so smart. Now that the physical space is cleared, how do we sustain this feeling emotionally? Because I feel like we really need to redefine what it means to be rich.
We absolutely do, because right now we live in a culture of constant comparison. Rule 31 talks about the danger of social media.
Oh, it's exhausting. You scroll and see someone's new car or their perfect kitchen, and suddenly your perfectly fine life feels like it's not enough.
It's an endless struggle. But Rule 33 shifts the paradigm. It says that true wealth isn't about owning a lot, it's about needing very little.
Let me just repeat that for the listener. True wealth is about needing very little.
Right. Wealth is freedom. It's having choices and having the peace of mind of not waking up worried about debt.
That is such a powerful mindset shift. But how do we put a practical system behind it? How did the author actually achieve this?
They made saving automatic. Rule 8. Auto-transfer 10% on payday. The second the money hits your account, a portion goes straight into savings.
So you don't even have a chance to miss it.
Nope. It takes willpower completely out of the equation. And the second tactic, this is Rule 9, is switching to the cash envelope system for daily spending.
Oh, the cash envelope. I love the psychology behind this.
Sure.
Because swiping a card feels so, numb.
Right.
It feels like spending points in a video game.
Exactly. You don't feel it.
But handing over physical cash, that actually hurts a little. It creates friction.
It does. Brain imaging literally shows that handing over cash activates the pain centers in the brain. It forces you to spend way more cautiously because you physically see the stack of money getting smaller.
Friction is the enemy of convenience, but it is the absolute best friend of your savings account.
That's a great way to put it, Uncle Ray.
Okay, so we're getting near the end of our deep dive here. And before we get to the final practical takeaways, I want to jump in with a quick reminder.
Yes, please do.
If you are finding value in this deep dive and you want to keep growing with us here on the Atomic Growth Team, make sure you like, subscribe, drop a comment below, and share this video with a friend who might really need it today.
Yes, sharing really helps the channel grow so we can keep doing this.
Absolutely. Okay, Susanna, let's bring all this theory down to the ground floor. What are 3 immediate, easy steps from the source that the listener can implement today?
All right, step 1, Rule 16. Identify your enough. You have to decide on concrete limits for your stuff.
Like what kind of limits?
Well, the author decided their limit was 30 pieces of clothing, 10 pairs of shoes, and 5 bags. That was their enough.
Oh, that completely cures decision fatigue.
Mm.
If you already have your 30 items, you just don't buy another one, unless you do the 1 and 2 out rule.
Exactly. Step 2 is Rule 20. Start a wait list. For bigger purchases, write down what you want today, and then force yourself to wait 3 months.
3 whole months.
Yes. If you still want it after 90 days, buy it. But usually, you just end up deleting it from the list.
Wow. Time is the ultimate filter for true desire. I love that. And what's the 3rd step?
Step 3 is Rule 38. Invest in yourself. The source makes it clear that the one area you should never skimp on is your health and your skills.
Because those pay the highest dividends.
Exactly. Buying a course that improves your career or good shoes that protect your joints, those are real investments.
I think that is the perfect distinction. Minimalism isn't a punishment. It's not about giving up everything you love or staring at a blank wall. It's an active choice to find what's truly important.
It really is.
And remember, our mission is to help you become 1% better every day. You don't have to overhaul your entire life by tomorrow.
No, please don't try to do that. You'll just burn out. But I do want to leave the listener with a final thought to chew on.
Let's hear it.
In a world that constantly profits off your dissatisfaction and constantly urges you to consume more, choosing to be content with what you have is actually the most rebellious thing you can do.
Wow. Contentment is rebellion. That is powerful. So your challenge for today is to start with just one tiny change. Delete one app or wait 24 hours on one purchase. You don't need luck. You just need determination. Thank you so much for joining us, and we will see you in the next deep dive.